If you are over 60 and you feel your energy vanish before noon, I want you to listen very closely. That heavy feeling in your body is not always caused by age. It is not always poor sleep either. In many cases, the real problem begins at breakfast. One very common breakfast mistake can push your blood sugar up, drain your focus, and leave you feeling weak, shaky, sleepy, and hungry again just a short time later. I am Dr. Aline Serratia, and today I want to show you exactly what that mistake is, why it happens, and how to fix it in a simple way. Many older adults wake up and try to make what they think is a healthy choice. They pour a bowl of cereal, eat 2 slices of toast, grab a banana, drink orange juice, or honey and dried fruit. It looks light. It looks easy. It even sounds healthy. But after 60, your body does not handle these quick breakfast foods the same way it did years ago. What feels like a harmless meal can quietly set up the exact energy crash that ruins the rest of your morning. The breakfast mistake that destroys energy before noon is this: starting your day with too many fast carbohydrates and too little protein, fiber, and healthy fat. That is the real trap. The problem is not breakfast itself. The problem is a breakfast that turns into sugar too quickly. When your first meal is mostly toast, cereal, juice, jam, sweet yogurt, pastries, pancakes, muffins, or instant oatmeal by itself, your body gets a fast burst of fuel, then a fast drop. That drop is what makes you feel tired, foggy, and older than you really are. At first, that kind of breakfast can feel helpful. You eat it, and you may even feel a quick lift. Your brain says, "This is working," but then your blood sugar rises too fast. Your body answers by releasing more insulin to bring it down. Once it drops, your energy drops with it. You may feel sleepy, unfocused, irritable, hungry, lightheaded, or weak in your legs. Some people even blame their heart, their age, or their medicines, when the real trouble started with what they ate just 2 hours earlier. After 60, this becomes even more important because your muscles naturally become smaller if you do not protect them. Muscle is one of the biggest helpers in blood sugar control. It helps take sugar out of the blood and use it well. But when there is less muscle, the body often handles a sugary breakfast more poorly. That means the same bowl of cereal or sweet toast that once felt fine can now leave you crashing before noon. You are not imagining it. Your body has changed, and your breakfast must change with it. This is why so many older adults tell me the same story. They say, "Doctor, I eat breakfast every day, but I still feel exhausted by 10 or 11 in the morning." They say they lose focus, reach for more coffee, want something sweet, or feel like they need to sit down. This pattern is extremely common. The body is not weak. The body is reacting. It is trying to recover from a fast rise and a fast fall. Once you understand this, everything begins to make sense. Let us talk about what this looks like in real life. Imagine someone wakes up, skips water, drinks coffee first, and then eats white toast with jam, or a bowl of sweet cereal with low-fat milk, or fruit juice and a muffin, or flavored oatmeal made from a packet. These breakfasts are easy to eat, soft to chew, and quick to prepare. That is why many adults over 60 rely on them. But most of these meals are low in steady fuel and high in fast fuel. They fill the stomach for a moment, but they do not support strong and lasting energy. Now, I want to be very clear about something. Foods like oatmeal, fruit, and toast are not evil. The mistake is how they are used. Oatmeal by itself can be too light in protein. Fruit juice without real food is too fast. Toast alone is mostly starch. A banana by itself is not enough to carry you through the morning. Even a yogurt can become a problem if it is full of sugar and low in protein. The issue is not one single food. The issue is an unbalanced breakfast that leaves your body with no stable foundation. What does a balanced breakfast do differently? It slows digestion in a healthy way. day. It gives your body a steady release of energy instead of a sugar wave. It helps you stay full longer. It supports your muscles. It reduces cravings. It helps your brain stay sharp. It supports mood and balance. It may even help reduce those sudden morning feelings of weakness, shakiness, or urgency to eat something sweet. A good breakfast does not just fill your stomach. It protects your energy. When I work with adults over 60, I often ask one simple question. What is in your breakfast besides carbohydrates? That question changes everything, because if the answer is very little, then the morning crash is not a mystery. A better breakfast needs at least one strong protein source, one source of fiber, and often a little healthy fat. That combination slows the release of sugar into the blood. It helps keep the brain and body supplied over time. It also helps you avoid that awful feeling of being worn out before the day has even started. Protein matters much more after 60 than many people realize. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at using protein. That means older adults often need to be more intentional, not less. A breakfast with enough protein can help preserve muscle, improve fullness, and keep energy steadier. Eggs, plain Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, kefir, beans, lentils, tofu, smoked salmon, or a quality protein-rich breakfast can make a major difference. A breakfast with almost no protein may feel normal, but over time, it quietly works against your strength. Fiber is just as important. Fiber slows down the speed at which food becomes sugar in the bloodstream. It also supports digestion and helps you feel satisfied. Good breakfast fiber can come from berries, chia seeds, flax seeds, oats, beans, vegetables, apples, or whole foods that still have their structure. But this is where many people get fooled. A breakfast cereal box may say whole grain, but if it is sweetened and broken down into tiny pieces, it can still move through the body very quickly. Marketing words do not always mean slow energy. Healthy fat also has a place, especially in small, balanced amounts. I am talking about foods like avocado, nuts, seeds, olive oil, nut butter, or the natural fat that comes with eggs or plain yogurt. Fat slows digestion and helps a meal last longer. It also helps with fullness, which can reduce snacking and sugar cravings later in the morning. The goal is not a greasy breakfast. The goal is a steady one. A little healthy fat paired with protein and fiber can completely change how you feel 2 or 3 hours later. Another hidden problem is drinking calories instead of chewing them. Juice is one of the biggest examples. Many older adults think a glass of orange juice is a healthy way to begin the day. But juice delivers sugar quickly and removes much of the fiber that would have slowed it down. Smoothies can create the same problem if they are made with too much fruit, juice, sweet yogurt, or honey and not enough protein. Liquid calories often go down fast, feel light, and leave you hungry sooner. Whole fruit is usually a much steadier choice than fruit juice. Coffee on an empty stomach can make the morning crash feel even worse. I know many people love their morning coffee, and I am not saying you must give it up. But when coffee comes before food, especially before a balanced meal, it can raise stress hormones and make some people feel shaky, anxious, or drained later. Then they eat a sweet breakfast after already stressing the body. That can create a stronger crash. If you enjoy coffee, try drinking water first and having your coffee with or after a real breakfast instead of making coffee your first fuel. Hydration also matters more than people think. Many adults wake up slightly dehydrated, especially if they take certain medicines, live in a warm climate, or simply do not drink enough water. Dehydration by itself can make you feel tired, dizzy, foggy, or weak. Then, a sugary breakfast gets blamed for only part of the problem. Before breakfast, try starting your day with a full glass of water. It is simple, but it helps circulation, digestion, and alertness. Sometimes, energy improves not from one miracle food, but from correcting a few basic mistakes together. I also want to talk about one emotional trap that catches many older adults. Soft, sweet, Easy foods can feel comforting. If chewing is harder, appetite is lower, or mornings feel rushed, those foods become the default choice. Toast, pastries, cereal, sweet yogurt, instant oatmeal, and juice all seem gentle and easy. But easy is not always energizing. Comfort is not always strength. If your breakfast is too soft, too sweet, and too small in nutrients, your body pays the price later. The result is not only hunger, it is reduced power. Think about what happens in the body after a fast breakfast. Blood sugar rises, insulin rises, energy lifts, then blood sugar falls. The brain senses this change and starts sending signals. You may feel sleepy, you may lose concentration, you may crave more starch or sugar. You may reach for another coffee and wonder why your body seems harder to manage now. This cycle can repeat day after day. Over time, it can affect weight, mood, walking strength, and even confidence. Many people start blaming themselves, when really they were never taught how breakfast should change with age. Now let us fix it. A stronger breakfast does not need to be fancy, expensive, or difficult. It simply needs structure. For example, instead of plain toast and jam, you might have eggs with a slice of whole grain toast and some berries. Instead of sweet cereal, you might have plain Greek yogurt with chia seeds, walnuts, and fresh fruit. Instead of instant flavored oatmeal by itself, you might make plain oats and add flax seeds, cinnamon, berries, and a side of eggs or yogurt. Instead of juice and a muffin, you might have cottage cheese, apple slices, and a few nuts. Notice the pattern in these better breakfasts. They still feel familiar, they still feel simple, but now the meal has something to hold you up. It has protein to support muscle and fullness. It has fiber to slow the release of sugar. It has natural food rather than a quick sugar hit. This is what helps you feel more even, more awake, and more stable through the morning. The goal is not to eat a huge breakfast. The goal is to eat a breakfast that works with your body instead of fighting it. Some people tell me they do not feel hungry in the morning, so they either skip breakfast or eat something tiny and sweet. If that is you, do not force a giant meal. Just improve the quality of what you do eat. A small but balanced breakfast is far better than a sugary one. Even something as simple as plain yogurt with seeds or one egg with fruit and nuts can be a smarter start than toast and juice. If appetite is low, build slowly. What matters most is not size at first. It is steadiness. If you have diabetes, prediabetes, or take medicines that affect blood sugar, this message becomes even more important. A breakfast high in fast carbohydrates can create stronger ups and downs for you. That can leave you feeling unwell and can make it harder to stay steady through the day. Please work with your doctor if you monitor blood sugar or take medication. But in general, many people feel better when breakfast becomes more balanced and less sugar heavy. When the body is given slow and steady fuel, energy often becomes more reliable. There is another benefit that many people do not expect. A better breakfast can help your legs feel stronger. When your blood sugar is more stable, and when your breakfast supports muscle instead of starving it, walking and balance can improve over time. This does not happen in one morning, but the morning meal is powerful because it repeats every single day. One poor breakfast may only make you tired, but the same poor breakfast repeated for years can quietly weaken the body. The good news is that a stronger breakfast repeated daily can help rebuild what has been slipping away. Let me tell you about a common pattern I see. A person wakes up tired, eats a sweet breakfast, crashes by 11, grabs more coffee or a cookie, eats a late lunch, feels sluggish in the afternoon, and then believes aging is the reason for constant fatigue. But once breakfast changes, the rest of the day often changes too. Cravings go down, mood becomes more even, focus improves, hunger becomes less urgent. Some people even start moving more because they no longer feel half asleep before noon. Morning energy affects the whole rhythm of the day. The body over 60 responds best to consistency. You do not need to eat perfectly. You do not need to fear every carbohydrate. You simply need to stop beginning the day with a meal that is mostly sugar and starch. If your breakfast has been cereal, sweet oatmeal, toast with jam, a pastry, fruit juice, or sweet yogurt, do not feel guilty. Many people were taught that these foods were healthy enough, but now you know better. And once you know better, you can build something better. A very useful question to ask every morning is this: will this breakfast still be helping me 3 hours from now? That question can save you from many mistakes. If the answer is no, if the meal is mostly sugar, mostly starch, or mostly air, then it is not enough. If the meal has real protein, real fiber, and some staying power, then you are giving yourself a much better chance. Breakfast should not just wake up your taste buds. It should support your brain, your muscles, your balance, and your independence. If you're not sure where to begin, start by changing just one thing tomorrow morning. Keep your breakfast familiar, but add the missing support. If you eat oatmeal, add protein and seeds. If you eat toast, add eggs or cottage cheese. If you eat yogurt, make sure it is plain and protein-rich, then add nuts or berries. If you love fruit, eat whole fruit with something that slows it down. Small changes done daily often work better than dramatic changes that last only 2 days. Give your new breakfast routine a full week before you judge it. Watch how you feel at 10 in the morning. Notice whether you are calmer, stronger, and less hungry. Notice whether your mind stays clearer. Notice whether you need less coffee just to function. These signs matter. Your body speaks in patterns. When you stop the breakfast mistake that has been draining your energy, the morning can feel very different. It can feel lighter, steadier, and more under your control. So here's the truth I want you to remember. If you are over 60, the wrong breakfast can quietly steal your energy before noon, not because your body is failing, but because your body needs a different kind of support now. The mistake is not eating breakfast. The mistake is eating a breakfast that is too fast, too sweet, and too poor in protein and fiber. Once you correct that, you often correct far more than fatigue. You support muscle, clarity, stability, and long-term strength. You deserve to feel awake in the morning. You deserve to stand up without feeling drained before the day has even started. You deserve a breakfast that helps you, not one that quietly works against you. Start with balance. Start with real food. Start with enough protein. Your age is not the end of your energy. Very often, it is just the start of a smarter routine. I am Dr. Aline Serratia, and if this message helped you, stay with me, because sometimes the smallest morning change creates the biggest difference in how you feel for the rest of the day.